Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with another review on deck profile, and this time I will be covering Dark Reckless and will be an Amon build with vids because he gets updated in V-Clan collection. So of course we are going to cover this deck. I wanted to actually put some fight videos on like the day that I released this video, but something happened with my laptop, so I can't actually do anything with sound, which is quite important for editing fight videos to make sure something that is not supposed to be there can be gone, or like adjusting the background music and such. So when it's fixed, I will do those again, but before that I would focus on that profile first, because everything I can just basically, depending on this recording, and just fix it, right? Okay, so just get into the deck profile. Starting Vanguard again, as I always say, it doesn't matter which one you use, as long as it's a restarter, that's all that matters. Next is our ace. Not the perfect ace, but it's also our ace, which is Amon Yaeverse. So Amon Yaeverse got two active skill. One of them is once per turn, block 200 regards, and for each one soul you have during the turn plus 2000, 2k, and if this unit's total power is 40k or higher, you get a crit. It takes quite a bit of time to actually build that, because say if you are 12k base, right, and what you need is 30k, yeah, basically 30k. Maybe you can slightly put it to 28, but let's just say 30 to make it easier. So in order to get there, you usually need 15 souls, just by this card skill. If you can find something to pump the power and such, better. And we will see that in a second, but just bear in mind, if you don't have any support cards, just rely on this card, you need to reach 15 soul. It can be easy, it can be hard, but this card itself is not actually helping you out with the soul charge. And the second skill is a counterblast 1. You can call up to 2 units from soul to regard circle that is with Amon in the name, and then when turn ends, those units go back to soul. So it's kind of like a pale moon technique while we don't have XL circles, but since we soul charge a lot, and I said in order to just purely reach 40k and above with this card skill, you need 15 soul. So you will be soul charging like a whole bunch, and sometimes your good attackers will just go into soul, and with that irregulars, one of the kind of weak point when you soul charge a lot that is not considering quality, you actually put in a lot of cards that you actually need into the soul and you can't get them back. But now at least you can pull 2 attackers out each turn just by counterblast 1. And worst of the worst, if you don't have regards to lock, you can just counterblast 1, call those units out and lock them. So something that helps. And how are we going to get into soul? Of course we have our base Amon. Sadly we don't see much interaction between the two. Like if you have Amon in your soul, you can do such and such. This kind of thing doesn't happen, but this is still a very strong card in control, minusing your opponent's hand, minusing their drop, forcing them to, since they're giving you hand, so you are actually cutting their card and clearing their regards. And if they can't give you 6 in total, you simply just get a drive, and yeah, you gain more from that. And while they still have a lot of souls, for each 6 souls you get 1 crit, so it's easy to get at least 1 crit, and then aiming for +2 crit, hitting for 3 damage, and you can just simply add a lot of power. So Amon is still the best grade 3 to ride in your deck, and you just save it, and then go to Amon Yaeverse to push even harder. Yeah, that's basically how this deck is going to work, and most of the time you do rely on Amon. and there are chances that I go for Amon first, trying to get my sufficient soul, and then go into Amon reverse, do some pushing, because he kind of making sure I have the crit, because sometimes if your opponents use soul very hard, you won't get the 6 soul to get the crit. You go for the Amon reverse, you go for another kind of a big punch, and then you go back to Amon and trying to drain their resources once again. So just based on this, some people might think Amon reverse is actually not quite helping in this deck, but do think about this way, because we do need to give a regard, a hand, and a card from drop into our soul. The card from drop, we don't care about that, but when you are lacking hands, you still need to commit 1 regard and 1 hand. You might not have enough resources to keep punching for the next turn. So switching gears to Amon reverse at least gives you a chance to call out 2 good attackers. That's Amon in name, even with this come up to attack. So it kind of solves your problem and allow you a little bit of moment to rest, or a few turns to rest if you really want to, and then you can go back to Amon again. So I mean, this is a good gear switch, but of course the Grapefruit Amon, the original Amon, is still a lot stronger. That's something that we won't deny, and since it's a new card, we do want to test him out, so this is the way I build this deck. And then to speed up the soul charge while adding some draw power, we have a number of Terra free copies. Nothing too much to say, just plus 10k plus 10k shield, draw 2, put 1 unit in. Nothing too much to say actually. And then 2 of the variants drag form. This is a card that I used when I built the original Amon deck before the reverse coming out, because he is a good card to help you pick up the resources you need, grade 2 or higher. It's quite important. Like if you want to switch gears, if they all go into soul, this is helping you to get something out. If the card go to damage, you can use this card to put that card from damage into the soul, and then you can get it back. That's very important, but it costs you a counterblast, so you do need to be very careful with your resources, and if you control that well, usually there shouldn't be a big problem. Yeah. And then we are entering grade 2s. First with 4 of the Ronjinin, the Dragon Spirits. He is just good to drain your opponent's resources. At least bait them to do that. If not, you get soul charge, and he can simply get a 10k power and shield. So he's still a very good card, and he's with more name, so you can pull him out with more reverse. And then when he appears, you get to still soul charge one more card and baiting your opponents to risk the resources or give you another soul charge, which can even help more reverse to reach enough souls to gain the power up a lot easier. And then here is another new card. I think his name is, let's see, Soul Sucker. So it's a new Amon grade 2 unit, and I don't think it exists before, but don't judge me on that. I just don't remember seeing this name. Okay, so it is a good on-ride card, because when a Amon unit run on top of this card, you get a soul charge free. That is quite important when you rely on a lot of souls to actually reach the power level you want to. And when this card attacks as a regard, you can counter plus 1. You can also soul charge 1, which is good. And during the battle, plus 5k. When battle ends, if you have Amon Vanguard, and if you have 6 or more souls, you can put this card in your soul and draw 1. So you get to draw a card, you get a little power pump, and you get to put this card into your soul, so you can call back with Amon Reverse, and you can even use the Amon Reverse skill to call this out to your attack. Since it will go back to the soul anyway, you can just put him in, draw 1. That's a fully good usage, fully utilize the card. His attack power is kind of low, but we do have a lot of ways to actually pump him to a bigger level, and be able to hit 14k I think is quite enough for now. But there are chances that your opponent's rank might be a little bit higher, but usually that's not the case. And ending our grade 2s with Mega Rock Gigant. So this is a good defensive card. I check in for just to make sure he's in my hand, although I don't see a lot of chances of actually using a defensive skill, but it is important because you actually get to do a PG effect with this card, and for each 5 soul you can discard 1 less. Usually you need to discard 4, but if you have like 20 souls you can just do it with a counter blast and no extra hand cost. So it's quite good, quite important, and also have a chance to plus a unit for 10k. That is very important because it's for a whole turn. It's basically a trigger, so it's basically a trigger or a PG, so quite important. But the counter blast cost is something that might affect us using these effects, and because we usually play a very fast game here, so there might not be a chance we actually reach 20 souls or even 15, even though we are aiming 15 for this. But maybe games run a little bit faster, and when you reach 15 you are supposed to try to win the game there, then you might even play him out as an attacker. That's sometimes what it does. Next, entering good ones. 4 of the Hu Jinglin, which is the Tiger Spirits. This card is just important because he drains your opponent's resources. They can draw a card back, but they have to put something into the soul first, which might just be a card that they want to keep in exchange to a card that they don't want. And of course you also get to put 1 card from your hand to the soul, and you get a drawing card, so that is good. That is really good. And he got another skill is when your battle phase starting, if your opponents have 6 or more soul, you can soul charge 1. If you do, choose 1 unit or try plus 5k. So this is another way to pump these 2 to another level. And we have yet another new support card, which is Amon's follower Atrocious Blow. This is a very important card for our grade 1 lineup, because when this card appears on the Vanguard circle, you go to the top 7, you can search up to 1 Amon grade 3 at your hand and shuffle that you get to search these cards. That is quite important, because you don't always get the right grade 3 in hand, and using this card you kind of just being able to take out the grade restructure, because he himself is a grade restructure, but you have to write him, of course, and it's with Amon name, so it's important for Amon Yaeverse to call. And this card also got another skill, active skill, resting this card and soul charge 1, and then choose 1 of your Amon unit, and for each soul you have for the turn, that unit will get plus 10k. So if you have a lot of souls, you can pump your regards, you can even pump your Vanguard to help him reach for 40k plus to gain the extra crit. And since you can just call it out with Amon Yaeverse, and then you use the skill, and then you lock the card, so it really doesn't matter that how you fully utilize this card. You just have so many ways to actually do it, and it's just great. And that's basically the list with our triggers. And now let's enter triggers quickly. So crits, I'm running 8 crits, 4 draw PGs, and then 4 heal guardians. We are playing a protect clan. We don't have like a whole bunch of full combo multiple attacks, and we do use a lot of resources. So compared to some decks that I go for 7-5 or 6-6, I go for 8-4. So we are punching hard, punching deep, ending the game quick. And then using draw PG instead of the 30k crit, I just want to be able to block certain attacks that a 30k shield is not going to protect me, and just getting me a chances to draw cards so I can use it for the Mega Rock. Yeah. And then Hill Guardian is for early game survival. As long as I can survive early game, I can start coming back with the OG Amon to drain your opponent's resources and just keep finding ways to draw cards, find key parts, keep soul charging big punches, and trying to come back from there. But for early game, we do need something to survive, and the Hill Guardian is coming in. Yeah, so that's basically the deck profile. What you aim for is simply just try to ride this. Even if you ride this, that's fine, because you get to kind of a soul charge and some hand control, switch hands, and then hopefully you can get to this. So when you ride your Gravely, you get a soul charge free. Even going for this isn't bad at all. And then starting Gravely, you try to go here. Each hand soul starting, you use this. You need to find pieces, use this, and then next go to this. Hopefully you won't be riding this card first, but even if you do so, if you get to ride your Soul Sucker first and you have your Atrocious low with you probably can still reach enough power to gain a crit early game, and you also get to call some good regards out to help you fight the game. So it should be still fine. But again, compared to the OG Amon, I think this update is a little bit weaker. But when playing the deck, I feel it's still alright. But when you actually comparing with OG Amon, you really will feel OG Amon control is a lot more threatening. And when I played with my friends with this deck, he always scared that I have the OG Amon more than when I have Amon Yaeverse. So Amon Yaeverse is kind of like a backup plan that if you kind of want to stop soul charging while still doing something, this is a card for you. Yeah. So I think that's it for this deck profile. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Like this deck profile, like this video if you like the deck profile, you like the deck, or if you are like a DI player, do let me know how you build the deck as well. I do think most people should be kind of similar. I mean, some people have some secret tech. For me, my first target is to try put in as much Amon cards in there so that I can get the call cards out that helps me, and that's basically it. And then from there, I just find a way to win quick, still doing the controls and still getting how to get the parts that I need. That's how I form this deck. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.